On my perfume journey, I've certainly evolved over time, from rudimentary beginnings, creatively probing my presumption of perfume, and learning by doing through trial and error. I haven't used any books, I just took the basic principles and took part in the practice of making perfume over and over again. Now, I've discovered a few things along the way, but the most important thing that I want to give attention to is the importance of time. So, when making a perfume, I feel that it's of great importance to spend a lot of time blending things together to see what happens. Making a perfume doesn't have to be the goal. In fact, until you know how to use all of your materials, you won't be able to make a perfume. You can't put everything together and make beauty. You have to question beauty, and beauty comes from contrast. You have to find things that complement each other, things which provide distinction but can exist together without causing chaos. Because perfumes are to be discovered, it's about arranging things in a way that is satisfying to your nose, and also the perception of the alchemy has to be satisfying too. Because separate to the smell is how the perfume behaves. So we're talking about longevity, diffusion, depth, evaporation curve, all the elements of a perfume. Notes like labdanum and vetiver and patchouli are fixatives, for example. They'll give your perfume staying power and they'll give it depth. Isoecybar, galaxolide, hedione are more diffusive. They'll help amplify the perfume. This relates to how compounds behave in the air. Projection is the perception of your perfume over time and the digression of your perfume from top to bottom as each oil evaporates, and how seamless or unseamless that process is. So you have the smell, which is all of your oils combined, and you have the other things which I've just mentioned. So let's just say you like your perfume but you think it lacks depth, then you need to add more fixatives. Then you need to question, is it diffusive enough? Is it a skin scent, or does it have good projection? What do you have to add? More diffusive notes, more musks, lots of isoecybar and hedione? There's basically no set answer. In combination, some oils actually cancel the effects of others. Using musk creates diffusion, but using a lot of musk will actually flatten out your perfume. If you're going to use aldehydes, a rule of thumb is to not use many fixatives because they will actually cancel out the effects of the aldehydes. Specifically, musk really has this effect. So if you're going to use aldehydes, don't use much musk. Aldehydes are very diffusive, but in combination with fixatives and musk, they aren't very diffusive. What about the smell and behavior of the perfume over time? Does the perfume gracefully shift through each note, or does it plummet from the heights of the top notes straight down to the bottom notes? So it becomes a balancing act of materials, not just in terms of smell, but in how powerful and effective those oils are together. Also, going back to the initial smell part, you have to make sure your perfume has enough oils which act as blenders for less harmonious notes. There are lots of things to consider. I believe that it is far more important to build a relationship with the spiritual aspect of perfume. That's where the creative spark lies, in my opinion. And I think that you can be far more effective just by doing the practical work. Just keep making perfumes. Every time you make one, you'll learn something new. As time goes on, you'll build up your awareness, and it'll just all come together within time. So today what I want to talk about is a leather fragrance. I want to share with you a leather formula. This is a light leather. It's not dark, it's not brooding, it's not particularly dense. I believe it to be feminine. I definitely tried to make it more feminine. But I guess leather is definitely a note that is far more versatile, I think. Is it possible to make a leather that smells purely feminine or purely masculine? I think it can be done, but I think more often than not, results probably would lean towards unisex. So you can decide for yourself. So all I want to do is share that formula. I'm going to now change the visual to my computer, and we are going to discuss that formula. Okay, so on the screen we have my leather perfume. Now I'm using the perfumersworld.com as a means to show you this formula. I've just basically put my formula into the section where it allows you to write up your own formula using the inventory from the perfumersworld.com. I have used perfumersworld.com just for ease of use, basically just for quickness. And as you can see, I've scaled the perfume up to 100. This is 100 grams, and then I have scaled the perfume down to make a 2 gram amount. Now this is enough for you to experiment with different percentages, if you want to scale it up, I would suggest that you put the formula into perfumersworld.com and then you just make whatever amount you want to make. But let's just say you wanted to make 30 milliliters at 20% concentration. All you need to do is times this column by 3. And you will have 6 grams, which will give you a 20% concentration and will give you a volume of 30 milliliters. So as you can see, we have labdanum. There is some basic materials which give the approximation of leather, labdanum being one of them. In this case, I've used labdanum absolute in a 10% dilution, and I have added 0.80 grams. I have added some birch tar, and this is a 1% dilution, and I have added 0.14 grams. I have added 0.12 grams of raspberry ketone in a 10% dilution. I have added 0.21 grams of ambretolide, which is a musk. I have added 0.02 grams of black agarwood artificial. This is a base, and as the title would suggest, this is agarwood. I have added 0.20 grams of cashmerean in a 10% dilution. I have added 0.02 grams of cedrambra. I have added 0.02 grams of linalool, 0.02 grams of jasmine absolute F-Tech. This is another base. This is a jasmine base. I have added 0.04 grams of beta damascone in a 10% dilution. I have added 0.04 grams of rosalva in a 10% dilution. And I have added 0.02 grams of wardia, and I have added 0.03 grams of alpha damascone. So we've got a few different rose molecules there. I have added 0.02 grams of beta ionone. I have added 0.04 grams of isobutylquinoline. This is in a 10% dilution. I have added 0.01 gram of cardamom. I have added 0.02 grams of sweet orange, 0.01 grams of cassia. I have added 0.01 grams of undecavitol, 0.03 grams of hedione. I have added 0.02 grams of sweet marjoram, 0.02 grams of dihydromercenol, 0.05 grams of iso-E super, 0.02 grams of clary sage, 0.01 grams of juniper berry, 0.02 grams of green tea fluorescence. This is of course another base from the Perfumer's World. And I have added 0.03 grams of peonile. So you can see from the ingredients, I have tried to make it more feminine with the sweet orange. I have added lots of rose molecules and the raspberry ketone also. So yeah, let me know what you think of this formula. As I say, it's quite a light leather. I'm just taking a smell right now. So it's not dense, it's not dark, it's not brooding. You can definitely just play around with this, just make it less complex even, make it more complex, make it more to your liking. With a leather accord, the main things are things like labdanum, birch tar. Let's have a look, what else have we got in here? We've got isobutylquinoline. They're basically going to give you a general leather smell. I also find dihydromercenol to be a really good thing to add to a leather accord. Definitely in the leather base from Perfumer's World, you can definitely detect a lot of dihydromercenol there. Yeah, that's basically that's the basic accord for leather. But also you've got all these other things to add. There are definitely forums out there talking about leather accords. If you go to Bass Notes, for instance, there's a lot of chatter on there about leather accords, other people sharing their leather perfumes, so you can definitely get a lot of information from that website alone. As I say, play around with it. If you have all of these materials, make it up, see what you think, and let me know in the comments just your thoughts and feelings about leather perfumes in general. I've smelled a few. They do tend to smell quite different, and then again you do get a bunch that just all smell the same. But yeah, just let me know what you think about that. So I will try to share another formula in the next few days. I am going to be on the road for a few days. I'm not going to be at my computer. I will try and get something out before then, and I will give you a general update about my business. So thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I will be back shortly. In the meantime, have fun making perfume and stay safe.